Hi YouTubers. So some viewers may remember or may have seen a video I did about 18 months ago when I fitted Cat's coolant heaters to my 425 and 445. It's a small 400 watt heater that I installed on the lower radiator hoses on both tractors. And what that does is you plug it in and then it heats up the coolant in the coolant system and thereby warms up the engine block, so that in the winter you're never starting a totally brutally cold engine. Anyway, I've had comments and I've heard from people from time to time who are sort of question whether that's an efficient way to warm the engine in cold weather, whether the block itself gets warmed or whether it just heats up the radiator. So I thought what I would do is, using my trusty infrared temperature reader, just see what the temperatures are right now. Now these tractors haven't been used for several days, and whether they're standing outside as they have been or whether they're parked inside, I keep them plugged in throughout the winter. I just do it as a habit now. It might cost me a few dollars in electricity, but I just think it's great to know that they're always warm if I want to use them. I just think it's better that way, and it's probably it's better on the parts anyway, not when you can get, have these brutal temperatures that we can in this New England area here. So right now, today, it's around the middle of the day. It's February the 21st. The temperature, the still air temperature right now is 20 degrees, so it's well below freezing. Although the sun is out, and they are catching the sun. But let's just do a quick temperature reading to see what the actual temperature is right now somewhere. So let's look at the wheel. I'm just gonna put it down there, and the temperature is reading on the wheel there, on the rim of the wheel, it's 18.9 degrees. Okay, and then on the frame of the tractor, let's try the, I don't know if you can see that. That's also 18.1, 17.8 actually. It's going down. It's 17 odd degrees there. So it's cold. The frame of the tractor is still very, very cold, certainly in the shade here. So I'm going to open up the hood and we'll take a look inside. Okay, so I've got the hood up in the on the 445 here, and I don't know if you can see, but the Cat's heater is just down. You can see it's sort of orangey brown color there, and let me check the temperature on that. So that is reading 180 plus degrees there. So that's the actual heater itself. Now let's do a read on the actual lower hose further along. So the actual hose itself along from there is reading 100 and, I've got to keep it on there, about 135, 136 degrees. Okay, that's a long, and then let's read on the actual engine itself. So the engine is around 65 degrees there, the top of the block. Let's see the actual block itself. On the top of the block there, we're getting a reading of 53.5 degrees. Okay, now that's in an air temperature of around 20 degrees, in fact less than 20 degrees. Again, let's try and the top of the radiator is around 56 degrees. Yep. So I think you can see how effective it is. Now, obviously, there is convection going on and heat conduction. You're basically heating up the coolant, which is in the radiator in the lower hose there. There is the thermostat to pass, and the thermostat at these temperatures is going to be closed. But nevertheless, by keeping it plugged in, the whole engine is heating up nicely and avoiding any risk of damaging cold starts like I experienced a couple of years ago when I started this tractor. And again, I have other videos talking about this. I started it when it was like minus 20. It was so brutally cold. It started up immediately and wonderfully. I didn't give it a chance to really warm up. I started driving it. I thought it was warm. and without realizing it, I lost oil pressure because the actual oil, the cog, the plastic cog, and this is nothing to do with the plastic cam gear that people think about, because this is all metal in this engine here, and so is my 425. But there's still a plastic cog that drives the oil pump, and that broke. And therefore I lost oil pressure and seized the engine. I had to do the engine rebuild. In fact, this is a rebuilt engine I put in here myself that I rebuilt, and the actual engine from this is still sitting on my bench, ready to be put back together again. But anyway, that's that. Let's take a look at the 425. 425 obviously has the cab on it now that I installed within the last couple of months. I'm going to open it up. There is sun on it, which is going to help. But let's just see the temperature inside here. And I'm going to read right where the radiator is, because this gets really warm. And if you can see this, okay. So I'm right on top where the radiator is, on top of the cowling there. And I'm getting a reading of 96.6 degrees. So this cab, even when it's brutally cold, and before I start it, is always relatively warm. Before I start the engine up, before the actual heater there starts getting coolant flow to it, it's already fairly warmed. It makes it much more civilized place to start than if you want to, to start using in the winter here. So again, I think that proves that these little CATS heaters, which I think cost me in the $30 to $40 each, and are so easy to install. Again, check out my other videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. Are very well worth the money and are very effective at preheating the engines. Anyway, hope you find this little video interesting and enjoyable, and if you do, please give me a like. And if you like these videos and you're into these tractors, the 445s, 425s, or even 455s, you might want to subscribe. I've got about 40 videos plus, and you get to hear about them. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.